guys, this is Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm just doing a review of the Santa Muerte Tarot. So I've meant to do a review earlier on this, but I've been having too much fun working with it. So, and I was so excited when it came. You know, I was one of those many people that put my order up on Amazon and then was quickly disappointed when they canceled the order because they had oversold the deck. And I was like, oh, well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. And then on my Facebook page, one of my peeps on there was like, hey, I have 6 copies of this deck, so if anybody wants it, just let me know. I was like, what? So yeah, within, you know, a week, the Santa Muerte was mine, so, or is mine, I should say. So let's go ahead and just, first, let's just talk about this box. And I would like to insert some Carmina Burana music, you know, the dun 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 dun. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's copyrighted and can't do that. So we'll just imagine it in our heads. Okay, so Book of the Dead, and here we have the beautiful Holy Death here, Santa Muerte. Limited edition. So there is a regular edition and a limited edition. And as you can see, it is styled in the shape of a coffin. And then we'll get into, you know, some other stuff later, but, you know, like talking about how I don't really find this to be a dark deck. You know, I know the title of it is Santa Muerte, and it, you know, it's a coffin, it's got all these skulls, but I think it's a very positive, very bright, you know, all about the living type deck. Okay, so we look on the back and we have Momento Vivere. And usually when you'd see something like this, it would say Momento More, but obviously it's Vivere. So life, not death. And you have your wonderful, wonderful artist, Fabio Lestrani. And this is definitely a Lo Scarabeo deck. Let me put this on the side so that you can see that there's rhinestones for the eyes, which is kind of cool. And it's kind of got this like linen-y, you know, tough finish. So I love this box. Okay, so it's not just about the outside, but it's about the inside. Like, this whole thing is a work of art, as well as the cards, and I definitely want to give this its due justice, you know. So I'm just gonna go slowly through here. So what caught my eye is that there is 1,987 copies. Well, 1987. That's actually my brother's birth year. And then this is the copy number I have. So I have deck number 1,812, which actually makes me think of like the War 1812. I don't know why. But those of you that are into numerology, if you add the 1, the 8, the 1, and the 2, or add the 18 plus the 12, the number that it comes out to corresponds to, well, if you link it up with the tarot, the Empress card, and that's a card that always comes up for me. So it's like, you know, this deck was meant for me. It's just another confirmation that it's meant to work closely with me. Okay, so if you look inside here, we have Mors Janua Vitae. And kind of black on the sides. Past, present, future. Turn it around. Oops, sorry. Yeah, that. So yeah, it's just all a work of art, and it has that. Yeah, I think it's magnetic. Yeah, it's got the magnetic closure. So all right, so that is the box. Obviously gorgeous. A lot of thought, talent, and time was put into making the limited edition feel extra special, because you are paying extra money for it. So I definitely feel like I got my money's worth, that it's definitely a special deck. Visually to hold, you know, it's got that tactile aspect of it, and also the reading with the cards, I mean, is phenomenal. So I'm very happy with my purchase, and this will be a deck that I use for a long time, I promise. Okay, so let's put this aside. And let's look at the guidebook first that came with it. So a nice glossy guidebook here. this is the back. So this might be a little bit longer review just because I'm gushing over this one, and there's just so much detail with it that I want to make sure that you guys catch all the detail. So as you can see, it's divided into all these different languages as per the usual for Lo Scarabeo. And what I like is the introduction here. So first they go into Fabio Lastrani and, like, you know, his background and things like that. But then it talks about the Santa Muerte Tarot, and it really goes into like the thoughts, the ideas, how it evolved, how it came to be. It talks about the Santa Muerte cults that are out there and some of the misconceptions about it, you know, that it being something dark and demonic and all about death, when really it was meant to be something that is about light. And so you know, I just really like how they talked about all of that. And then it goes into, you know, all the different cards and their particular take on it. Here's Wally, by the way. Wally likes the Santa Muerte. Kind of like how you would put a Santa Muerte flair on each of these aspects is pretty cool. And then we go all the way to also I should show you too, like, let's say what section are we in here? Okay, so let's say we went into the swords section and you pulled the Ace of Swords. So it would give you a little bit of information, and then it would give you like advice of the dead, which I think is so cool. So let's go to, oops, a little too far. It only has one spread, and it's rather interesting. I tried to do this spread before I actually shuffled and cut the deck and everything, because you do have to divide it up into all its different suits and keep the major arcana away from the rest of it so that you can do this particular spread. And it is called the Ouija, the Oracle of the Dead spread. So definitely worth, you know, something doing something with that. Maybe before you actually totally shuffle up all your cards. I think that's fun. And then you could do like a card of the day. And then we go off into, I think this is Spanish. Yes. Yeah, not Italian, Spanish. There we go. So there you go. Now let's get to the cards. Okay, so this is the title card. Let's get all up in this title card. Just look at the detail. It's not just, you know, there's color in the color, if that makes sense. It's beautiful. And this is the backs of the cards. So you can see it's kind of got that Mayan, Aztec appeal. Okay, and this is your standard tarot size. It is glossy, and it does have flex to it. I think it's actually like the perfect type of card. You know, it's not too thick of a card, and it's not flimsy either. So I feel like I can give this a good shuffle, and I'm not going to destroy it. So, which is good because it's definitely been getting a lot of use, and it has no show of that. Okay, so they're not edged, but I don't think I would edge this deck. I think I would just leave it as is. Okay, so I'm just gonna flip through these, and you guys can just admire the artwork. So like with any of these, and there's so much going on in all of these cards. With any of these reviews that I do, I am a connoisseur of art. I love art. I love color. I've cut out pictures from magazines and put together just a book of color and pictures. And, you know, I love photography, so I love seeing the different lightings and things. And the same with paintings and drawings, you know, how it's kind of like a photograph. You can bend light to your will. And I just love all of that. And so oftentimes when I look at people's reviews, it's not because I'm like in a state of I need to buy and I need more, but more like I really appreciate the art and I just like staring at art sometimes, you know, soaking it all in. It's the same purpose that I have here whenever I'm doing these deck reviews, is I want you guys to kind of soak it in. Just look at the beautiful art, and you know, if you so choose to go and buy this deck, you know, that's up to you, but I'm not pressuring anybody into buying anything. I just I like looking at it as much as you. I also used this deck on one of my last live chats, and everyone seemed to really appreciate it, and they appreciated the messages that came from it. You know, I would expect the messages to be somewhat dark or macabre, but it was, you know, they're really helpful. They're very in-depth and heavy, I would say, but they're very helpful, and they do offer like solutions and comfort, and I really enjoy that. And also this deck has a lot of appeal for me as well, because San Diego is like right next to the border of Mexico. So we're heavily influenced by Mexican culture, Hispanic culture here in San Diego. I mean, Old Town San Diego is basically Mexican, you know? So yeah. So when I see this, I'm like, oh, it's not how do I say, like foreign looking imagery to me. Like I am used to seeing this type of imagery. There's my girl Santa Muerte. I will say, I had made, sorry, not the camera. I made a mistake. I had these on my bed and I didn't put them back in their box, and usually I always do every time I'm done, but I just ran downstairs to go grab my tea, and then I jumped back into bed and I creased this card. But look, you can't even see the crease. I totally creased it too. But on the back, I think you can kind of see. Yeah, there it is. You can see it in the light. Like it kind of creased a little bit, but it's like razor straight still, you know. Yeah, and then the image on the front is fine. So that is just an attestament to its durability. I think I screamed when I jumped in bed. I was like, oh no, like what did I just do to my favorite deck? Yeah, so okay, I creased a card and it comes out unscathed. So durable, there you go. I love the luchadora. That is so cool. That's really neat to me. And then I don't think I mentioned it, maybe when we get to the sword suit again. Well, first, like for all the different suits, like for cups, how they have like little heart shapes for their eyes, which is really cool. And like wands, there's just different swirls going on in the bones themselves. And then when we get to, gosh, did I run out of swords? I want swords with the skeletons. Let me see if we can get to some swords here. Oh, actually, let's look at the pentacles too. The eyes of the pentacles look like diamonds, almost. Like in a regular playing deck. And for the swords, their face, like the whole face is a spade, which is pretty cool. I think that's just, there we go. It's just an interesting take. Maybe some people might find that a little disturbing, a little weird, but I don't know. I think it's artistic. I think it's bold. I like it. You know, and swords should be bold. And this one's kind of cool. It almost reminds me of like an MC Escher type, you know, sketch. And there we go. Okay, so at the end of all my review videos, I always give it a shuffle so you guys can see what that's like. The energy is really good with this deck, so, and the answers are always pretty quick. Let me put the title card off to the side here. So cards usually just like fly out, which is pretty cool. It's a very chatty deck, at least for me. Okay, so let's give it a shuffle. And I'm going to lay out 3 cards so you can see aesthetically what that might look like in a very basic 3-card spread. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I'm not asking any questions, but you know, those people who are watching, if you want to do that, then by all means do so. Okay, let's move that up here. And let's put this off to the side. So there you go. That's it. That is the Santa Muerte Tarot deck, the limited edition deck. And yeah, so if you were one of the lucky ones that also got a limited edition deck, let me know. Or maybe if you have the original edition, maybe you can tell me what some of the differences and the similarities are between the regular edition and the limited edition. I'd be curious to know, since I don't have the regular edition. I don't, you know, have anything to compare or contrast. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to use this particular deck in a reading that you book with me, just let me know in the notes section where it says notes to seller upon booking. And don't forget that there's 20% off in my shop in the entire month of October for all readings and jewelry. So if you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification bell, ding ding, so you can get more videos just like this. And I'll catch you spiritual homies later. All right, peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out!